morning and welcome to Enterprise Friday on Enterprise Television. I am Kende Bodun.
And I am Henry Igwebike.
All right, we are delighted to start the day with you. As always, we begin with a quick look at today's newspaper headlines before diving into the major conversation of the day. Trust me, you don't want to even, miss out from this. You can also join our conversation by liking, following us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV 7. So today we have Emeka Madnagu to share more light to the issues we have at hand. He is a journalist and a public affairs analyst. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning, Emeka.
Yeah, good morning, my pleasure. Good morning.
Yeah, beautiful.
Happy Friday.
Yeah, thank God it's Friday and penultimate month to the end of the year. This is December.
Yes.
All right, but let's get to see what we have from our newspapers. The Guardian newspaper, it is this morning, and we have big story: armed attacks intensify as Tinubu okays U.S.-Nigeria security plan.
Okay, we also have how renewed terrorism exposes old weak security underbelly.
And also we have IG claims 11,566 police officers withdrawn from VIPs, orders intelligence policing.
Okay, we have reps vote on constitution review on December 10.
And also Nigeria's transition to multi-tier electricity market attracts over $2 billion US.
And the
investment.
last headline we have here, we have democracy under strain as fresh coup eats West Africa draws condemnations.
And Mega, I love us to go international, of course, not very far, just within the sub-region, and that is Guinea-Bissau. The coup that just happened there. Luckily, our former president, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, was whisked out of that country by the supposed military coupists in the country. What do you think is the fresh information that we need to know about?
Yeah, okay. The military has consolidated. The new head of the UNTA, the head of the military UNTA, has been sworn in. He has been inaugurated, and then they are the president Mbalomo, has gone to. I think he has flown to Senegal. The same thing with his main challenger. His main challenger, has gone into. He has gone into hiding. His main challenger has gone into hiding. The previous main challenger, who was barred by the Supreme Court from running, has been arrested. Has been arrested. I don't know why. Seems the military wants to, crack down on the political class, because the main challenger said, he alleged that, that the president who fled to Senegal, that he was the one who organized the coup because he was on the verge of losing the election. So that he organized that is not a coup, that is just an unorganized takeover of power. That he had got 52% of the votes, but that they now look for a way to prevent him from being inaugurated. By the way, the Electoral Commission was on course to announce, the results when, this coup took place. And the coupists are claiming that drug barons were, trying to hijack the country's political process. So and then yesterday, on Thursday, President Bola Tinubu and his colleagues, had a virtual meeting. Where they discussed the situation. And of course, they've demanded a return to democracy. But you know, so far so good. So far so good. You know, the country is still in a limbo. You know, so far, well, so good. Thank you.
Okay. So, do you think the coup was Do you think it is? Do you think it is military backed, or it's just politically triggered?
Especially given what the opposition said, that the current president organized that because he felt he was losing out on the elections.
Well, we don't know yet. It's still early days to know what really happened because the opposition leader is the main challenger, was the one who made that allegation. You know, but of course, it should be noted that it's unfortunate the way many politicians in Africa have continued to treat democracy. Yes, some people say that democracy is alien to Africa, but that's a lie. It is because they don't even know their history. If you go to ancient Africa, we had democratic societies in ancient Africa. As a matter of fact, Africa taught the Greeks. Africa taught the Greeks. We say democracy emanated from the Greeks. It's not true. It's not true. Because, for instance, Igbo, in the Igbo society, in the ancient Igbo society, there was democracy. There was democracy. So, I mean, when we say democracy is alien to Africa, let's go and check our history. I'm a historian. The only thing is just that the kind of positions we have in Nigeria, in Africa, don't respect the rule of law. They don't respect, they don't respect the rule of law. They don't respect the rule of law. They don't respect the constitution. They don't respect the electoral processes. And that is why you are having all this chaos in Africa. Even in Nigeria, look at what is happening. How the government, how President Tinubu's administration is destabilizing opposition parties, getting governors to defect, even in defense of the constitution. So what it means is that the military is still an integral part of, the ruling process in Africa, in many African countries. And that should not be. So if truly this was organized by the president, well, it should be that if ECOWAS and the AU, because the man who was sworn in, the former chief who was sworn in, was inaugurated, he said he's just leading a transition for 1 year. But if pressure can be brought to be on the former president should not return. He should not return at all. He should not return at all. You cannot benefit from, the subversion of democracy allegedly engineered by you. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Emeka. Maybe let's get to see what's happening from the Punch newspaper for today. Safe Schools project stalls in 30 states as abductions rise.
We also have NNPCL spends 17.5 trillion naira securing full pipelines, others in 12 months.
Business leaders reject proposed beverage tax hike.
Okay, we also have, it's taking the big story there. Okay, we have Nigeria condemns Guinea-Bissau coup, Jonathan evacuated on special flights.
Emeka, NNPCL spends 17.5 trillion securing fuel pipeline, others in 12 months. Emeka, that budget is close to the budget of some countries in Africa. Madagascar and other little countries should have this as their total budget for the year. And we have an NNPC using this same money, 7.5 trillion naira in 1 year to secure our pipeline. How much then is remaining? After everything is said and done with the profits and all.
You remind me of a joke that was told one time of one Igbo man who was dying in the hospital, And when he opened his eyes, he saw his wife, he saw his children beside him, and he asked them, he said, Chukuma, you there here? Papa, you there here? Namdi, you there here? He now said, who called this shop? So, that's just by the way. Now that tells you 17 trillion. Look, what was the highest budget of the former administration of Muhammad Buhari? What was the highest budget? It was more than 10 trillion. That is 1/3. That's 1/3 of even the current budget of 48 billion. That's about 1/3 of the current budget. You see, we have said it again and again. But the fact is that these people will never listen. They won't listen. If you take that money will build. How much was used to build the Dangote refinery? Was it $20 billion?
Yeah, less.
How much was it at that time? Now, the Petroleum Industry Act says that the NNPC should be taken to the stock exchange. It should be privatized. It should be taken to the stock exchange. Why are they delaying? The GMD of NNPC, Major-General, said some time ago that it was about to be done, that they were going to do it. Then he came up later, some weeks later, to say no, that the NNPC would revive the refineries. We just keep plunging money into a black hole. There's the theory of the sunk cost, where you spend and spend and spend. And that's we spent so much, we can't stop sinking money. Let's just continue. Come on, where are you heading to with that? Where are you heading to with that warped projection? So NNPCL should be sold. You are paying mercenaries you call private security contractors. You are paying them to secure your pipelines. But even at that, has our production got to the OPEC quota of 2.2 million barrels per day? No. So at what point? The former administration of Buhari, Muhammad Buhari, gave out a lot of our oil as forward sales, pledged our oil, mortgaged our oil for loans. So, and by the way, the production sharing contract says that it's a JV between NNPCL and the oil majors, 60-40. So the oil majors get it, when they drill the oil, it's 60-40. Now they are leaving the onshore fields, and they are going offshore. They are going offshore, where it is safer for them and easier for them to do business. So why are we now wasting all this money to secure pipelines? Let me tell you, if you build modular refineries in different parts of the country, allow Dangote to be exporting his products. Let him export his products. He's in a free trade zone. Let him export his products and make the money he puts into the refinery. Instead, build modular refineries in different places. Like there is one now being built in Cocoa in Delta State. And the government says they call it Ebenco oil. Now it's a 30,000 barrels per day, a modular refinery. And the government says that, I think the Minister of State for, petroleum, said the other day, I think when we visited the place, that it was a game changer, that it will help in terms of stopping vandalism of pipelines, in terms of, those illicit refineries, causing soot and all of that in the Niger Delta. Now, why not encourage more of that here and there? NNPC had the NMDPRA, sorry, not the NMDPRA. There's this other agency, that does that promotes local content. They actually invested 20% in refineries under the former Buhari administration. Now, if you were to do that, encourage modular refineries in different places in the oil-producing states. Now, they should be by 11, with the addition of Anambra states, as an oil producer. So, if you encourage modular refineries across these places, and then you can even distribute, overland. You can distribute with tankers. So why are we spending so much money, wasting so much money, pumping money down a black hole? It needs to stop. It has to stop. NNPC should be sold. All those refineries and all those depots and all that should be sold. Let them be sold. Let them be sold. There are other critical sectors that need that need investment. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. So let's look at the Vanguard newspaper, Henry. So there's a story here I would want us to take.
Okay.
So gunmen attack Ingige's convoy in Anambra, kill one and injure others. Wow. So in fact, this, first of all, I would need to say for this, these gunmen, I don't know, the gunmen issue, bandits, terror. In fact, I think
we don't even know who to run from, who to run away from right now.
But I think they are still under the word terrorism.
Yes, yeah,
right?
Yeah,
so they are terrorists, yes. So there is this question I would like to push out here. I have to put it down so I won't forget.
So
we are doing
just before you get that question, Mecca, let's see to this particular story. We all thought that all of this would have ended in Anambra. We don't see much of that in Abia, in Enugu, in Ebonyi. Though we can see skirmishes in Imo, but more in Anambra. What do you think is happening here in Anambra, most especially?
Well, sadly, this incident took place in my town, Ngige, and Ngige, is from Alo. If you are coming from Onitsha, you pass through Umpo, you will enter my town, a part of my town before you now turn left into Ngige's town. So just before he got to that point where he detour to his town, although he was attacked. And a lady in my hometown was shot. I don't know what motivated her to be recording people who were shooting, and she was shot dead, which is very sad. The elections just held. The November elections just held. So, if you recall, Ngige, even though he's still in APC, he declared support for Soludo, for the incumbent governor, Professor Chukuma Soludo, who eventually won. So, I don't know if we can say it's related. Maybe it's a fallout from the election. I don't know. But sincerely speaking, it is not yet Uhuru in the south, even in Anambra. The current commissioner of police, Orotugu, is doing a lot. He's doing very well. He's doing far better than many of his predecessors. If you remember, under the former governor, Obiano, I think there were about 5 or 7 commissioners of police within the 8 years that he spent as governor. But now, things are improving. So I hope that the state command will the state police command has not sent anything yet, but I want to believe that they are on top of the situation, and those, that they will apprehend those behind it. But I suspect it is can you hear me? I suspect it is, it may be linked to political violence. Thank you.
Okay.
It's actually very sad.
Very, very sad. And the question we're going to ask is based on regional security, right? So what does this attack reveal about the rising political violence, in the southeast?
It's not as if it is rising. The elections have come, the governorship election has come and gone, but I'm just suspecting that may not be the reason why he was attacked. It's just a possibility. And another thing is that it may also have been an opportunistic attack. Because that very area has witnessed some attacks in the past. Okay. If you recall, that was where the headless body of one of the lawmaker representing the constituency of the governor, Umasoludo. That's where his headless body. I think it was it. I think it was his. Yeah, I think it was around there. I think either he was kidnapped in that place, and I think his body was found in another town or something. So that area is a bushy kind of area. because the federal government did some reclamation there. So government planted cashew trees. There are a lot of cashew trees. So it's a lonely spot. It's a lonely stretch of about maybe 2 kilometers. You know, the lonely stretch. Then as you just get out of the place, you come into, you know, the edge of my town. So I think the government needs to do something about that area. Whether, yeah, there's a police station in that place, but maybe the government, you know, needs to set up a security formation around that area, you know, so that yes, you have the state vigilance corps. They have a checkpoint, you know, around that place. But you know, the state government may need to really step down on these opportunistic characters, because some of them actually even come from other states.
Yeah.
They'll just cross the border, look for, you know, the vehicle to snatch, and then kidnap the owner, you know, so that they can demand ransoms. So I think I want to believe that the perpetrators will be caught. Maybe they saw a convoy, you know, and they felt, okay, let's grab this person, let's kidnap this person and collect it. You know, let's kidnap this person so that we can get some money. Maybe some criminals who have run out of money and just saw a convoy, you know, they felt they could attack. You know, I mean, if you look at it, it was the girl who was doing a video that was shot and killed. Otherwise, you know, I mean, they only injured the security personnel in the convoy, were only injured. So if they wanted to kill them, don't know if they would have gone ahead to kill them. So it might be a fallout of the recent election or an opportunistic attack because it was a convoy. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. It's actually quite disturbing that we're having this in Nigeria at a time when other countries are thinking and hoping to get investments in billions from other countries, other individuals, building plants, employing their people, growing the GDP of the country. We are still struggling with banditry, with criminal acts and activities all over the place, and having politicians that don't even care because most of them have dual citizenship. If push comes to shove, they would not be here with us. I don't have dual citizenship. I have the green passport only, right? So it means that we are only the ones left here when push comes to shove. But of course, that's not what we wish for our country. And just to let you know, Emeka, we'll be here to take us on our main conversation, and that's when we return. Nigeria not ready for private gun ownership. Njoku speaks out. That in the beat is still Enterprise Friday. Don't go anywhere.
We'll be right back.
Thank you so very much for being back. And if you just joined us, this is still Enterprise Morning, reaching you from Enterprise Television. Let's head straight to our conversation for today. Major-General Elias Njoku, retired Interim Chairman of the ALPSAN, has said that Nigeria is not yet ready to allow private individuals to bear arms despite rising insecurity. He explained that the country is still dealing with the dangers created by the proliferation of small arms and ammunition, which has worsened attacks by terrorists, bandits, and kidnappers.
Very true. So according to him, calls for citizens to carry weapons are emotional reactions that ignore long-term consequences. Njoku noted that even licensed private security practitioners in Nigeria are not permitted to carry arms because key regulatory steps and conditions have not been met.
Emeka, let's get talking on some of these things. Though we have it that when compared to Nigeria, like countries like South Africa, Gambia, Dubai, and Kenya, where private operatives and arms, you know, do what they do, it still doesn't work the way they think it should be. Emeka, thank you so very much for hanging on. I think it's very important that we have a transition from the Anambra mayhem that happened that led to the death of the woman who was filming, and now we have that private security organizations are not permitted to carry arms, but bandits are permitted to carry arms. Emeka, speak to us on this. The private security organizations are not permitted to carry arms and protect their clients, but we have bandits, we have herdsmen and women, and even their kids and their children, you know, having assault weapons. So why do you think one should have and people who are licensed should not have, especially at a time like this, Emeka?
The man who said that things, they just spoke out of ignorance. And it's unfortunate that the journalists didn't even know any better to have tackled it. What is he talking about? You cannot own, there is a level of weaponry that security outfits cannot own. It's not that they cannot carry the weapons at all. It is not true. It is not true. The journalists could simply have gone to Google to check the Firearms Act. They could also have checked the Criminal Code to see that, yes, people can carry, you know, firearms for purposes of hunting. But you cannot but you can, but you cannot, carry, weapons that have cartridges. You can only carry, for instance, like the gun, what we call shakabula or double barrel. You cannot carry like pump action, like AK-47, machine guns, and all of that. So to use a pump action rifle, you will need a permit from the Inspector General of Police. Now, these things are clear, but I was surprised. If you're talking about private gun ownership, he's also not correct. Because you're allowed to own a weapon of a certain grade, but with a license for hunting. Yes, you can also get a weapon for self-defense. Yes, can also own a weapon, acquire a weapon for self-defense. So, but to say that the law doesn't allow is not true. It's not born out of ignorance. That of the bandits, these people they are called bandits, they are criminals, they are terrorists, they are outlaws, they are insurgents. Name it. They are kidnappers, they are armed robbers, thieves. So name it. So that is why they acquire weapons illegally. Yes, the same man who said that private security outfits cannot carry weapons now also said that you have a lot of small arms. The route between Ghana and Nigeria is a trafficking for small arms, for illicit small arms. Then in a country like Sudan, which is a mess right now, which is a basket case, they manufacture pump action rifles. These things are sold. Even in Nigeria, weapons are sold. Weapons are fabricated, by blacksmiths and sold. So we cannot be, we should not mix apples and oranges together. We have a security situation in Nigeria right now, but private gun ownership is not the solution. There have been calls for state police, and understand that in some countries, that a region can say, okay, no, we don't have the resources or the manpower, to hire, to set up our own police. Okay, let the federal police handle policing, handle security for us. Handle security for us, and we will, we will pay them. And we will pay them. Let us, we'll pay them. And we will pay them. So that, you can see states have been setting up vigilance outfits. Yes, which is good enough, but of course, they need to be, these outfits need to be set up in accordance with the law, in accordance with the law, so in accordance with the law, these things need to be set up in
but what do you
accordance
think,
with the law.
Emeka,
Yes.
what do you think is the opportunities in there for private security arms and organizations? What do you think are the opportunities there with them, especially with the withdrawal of, according to Egbetoku saying about 11,566 personnel are out of private homes, and that he would no longer be under pressure from ministers, governors, and friends and family members. What do you think are the opportunities for private security organizations?
No, you see, the opportunities are vast. The security sector worldwide is a big sector. And due to conflicts, due to growing population, due to growing urbanization, industrialization, and all of that, mining and all of that, so there is a need for security. The orthodox security outfits can no longer handle security, alone. So, of course, there are opportunities which they are using. Are they not the ones guarding estates and private companies? There are opportunities.
Okay, let's look at this.
So, for instance, you look at the civil defense now. Government said, okay, we drop policemen, but go and talk to the civil defense. Because civil defense are also trained. They carry offensive weapons. They carry AK-47 and all that. So go and discuss with civil defense. They have personnel, So the government is not saying we draw them outrightly. You even look at, you go to some government offices, you see civil defense. They are there to protect oil installations, and all, and other critical infrastructure. So you can't say that they are, it's not only policemen. You also have spy police, supernumerary police, people, who are trained, but they are not conventional policemen, But of course, if you look at the relevant, I think the Police Act or something, it says that supernumerary police can be can be an orderly to a minister, to a minister and to other, levels of authority in the state, So you have spy police. You see them working in the banks, Yes, you may see them wearing police uniform, but they are spy police, they are spy police. So you have civil defense. They are there. You can actually make use of them.
Right.
The police, so you don't have to use our policemen, because we have 100,000 policemen, in the service of VIPs.
But that has been disputed. Emeka, that figure, according to Agbetoku, has been rejected. He said he doesn't know where people got that figure from. Yeah. That it is not 100,000 or 120,000. It's just 11,566. That's what Agbetoku has said to that particular figure all over the place.
He should tell us, he should publish the full data. How many recruitments have they done in the last 10 years? Under Buhari, I think they were recruiting 10,000 yearly. Under Tinubu, I think there have been, two recruitments, 10,000. Then how many policemen did we have as at 5 years ago. They were set to be 375,000. So if we don't have up to that figure, so why do we have so many policemen guarding VIPs? I know of some VIPs who have up to 90 policemen guarding them. Some have 50, some have 40. You will see even heads of motor park unions, they have policemen guarding them. Local government chairmen, even councillors, even ordinary celebrities. You will see policemen carrying their briefcases. Is it right? You see policemen cleaning the shoes of VIPs, washing their cars, carrying baskets for their wives in the market. I mean, look, it's because we don't value ourselves. You see criminals, Yahoo boys. They have police on this. What nonsense is that? The police is a democratic institution. It's a national institution, that we should respect highly. But we treat the police as if, look at the uniforms some of them put on. You even see some putting on slippers and all that. Because we don't value the police. All the budgets, yearly budgets, how many are giving, yearly budgets for the police, how many are giving cash backing? How many are giving cash backing? You get to the checkpoints, you can get to a checkpoint. You can see up to 6 or 4 inspectors. What are they doing there? So just merely withdrawing policemen from VIPs is not the solution. What you need to do is to overhaul the entire system. Overhaul the entire system. Have a different kind of entry point. And by the way, what is the least policeman paid? Less than 100,000. It's the same thing with the military soldiers. And you want these people to go and risk their lives to protect you, to protect the country. What are you talking about? I know some outfits, corporate outfits, that pay security men 100,000. Yes, they pay 100,000 to just gate men, or just open the gate and close the gate. Yeah, then just stroll up and down, patrol, and then go and sit down somewhere and sleep a little. End of the month, get 100,000. But look at our soldiers. You saw the other day, the other time. Look at the rations they were giving. I mean, when you don't treat your security sector well, and you are expecting goodies, that's why people lobby. You're talking of VIPs. What about state governments? There are special squads. These men have been packed into those places. What about EFCC, ICPC? They started with policemen who are drafted to them. Even though now EFCC has its own academy, they are recruiting their own cadets, training their own cadets, and all of that. But have those vacancies been filled? The vacuum left by the policemen who are moved to other duties, who are moved to those agencies, has the vacuum been filled? So it's not just by saying you want to recruit 24,000 soldiers, you want to recruit thousands of policemen. No. You need to totally overhaul the system. Entry requirements, entry level, remuneration is very, very, very important. If a policeman, if he's killed, his family is immediately, how long do they allow them to stay in the barracks before they're thrown out? Are their benefits paid? Can their families get their benefits? Do you have group life insurance for them? I hope there was a time, it was said that, yes, the government has set up group life insurance. But is it still in existence? Is it being well maintained? So all of these things are questions. And it's not just about withdrawing this, because those VIPs even treat them well. Some of these state security squads, they pay them well, 40,000, 60,000 extra. I don't know if it has been increased now with the increase in the minimum wage, but people lobby. All these specials, all these oil facilities, different banks, name it, the homes of bank MDs, many places. So it's not just about policemen going on the road in, blowing sirens in convoys. No. What about those deployed for certain special operations? You have a special protection unit. You also have the diplomatic protection unit and all of that. Are you going to disband those squads? Those people pay. So what if they sue you? That they've been paying, they paid you for the services of this policemen, and you're withdrawing. That's a breach of contract. They can go to court. They can sue you. So it's not just about making a pronouncement just for expediency, political expediency. You also have to look at the legal implications. Thank you.
All right, Emeka, we have to look at the legal implication of some of the actions, but of course, AIG Njoku said that since the information and the directive is coming from the president, that they are even shielded and they can use that as an umbrella, you know, to sit back and watch like spectators and do what the president has said, and no one should put him under pressure for any reason. Well, we just hope for better days in Nigeria, and hope we would get to that point, that position in this country where a politician would walk down the street without anybody because he believes he's doing the right thing, because he believes that he is doing what he has been called to do, you know, by the Constitution. Because the reason why they have lots of security or operatives is because they are obviously not doing the right thing. Yes, because why are you scared, really, if you don't have some skeleton in the cupboard there?
That's true. And I feel doing this too will even bring a new Nigeria to. And I really want to be part of the new Nigeria.
You want to be part of the new Nigeria?
Also be part of the new Nigerian, Mr. and everybody.
Yes.
That's our prayer. We need to
a new Nigeria where there are no more bandits and insurgents. Yes. All right, people, that's just about the time we have. Thank you so very much, Emeka, for being here. We truly do appreciate you. And we have to call it a day for today. Please do well to follow us. You can find us at enterprisetvnews.com. You may equally like, comment, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV7. I am Henry Igwebike.
And I'm Kendi.
Have yourself a splendid Friday. God bless you.
God bless you.